In this video we'll show you how we can machine the reverse side of this part. So I've imported the part into a fresh session, so now we can go into geometry and we want to rotate the part, so we go move rotate, highlight the part that we want to rotate, press enter, and then in this case we're rotating around the Y and Z axis by 180 degrees. Okay, so having done that, we now need to think about where we want the Z0 to be. So we'll go into milling and say set origin. We'll leave it in the middle of the part, but we'll say the maximum in Z. So that moves the part down so that Z0 is the top of the job. Okay, so there's various ways we could machine that, but if we would want a simple machining, we can just use the flatland. So if we go into machining, triangle mesh, flatlands, choose the tool we want to use, 20mm end mill, and the surface paths we need to set machining surfaces, which is this one here. Press enter. If you want to leave an offset on, we can do, but in this case we won't. And the maximum step over, we're using a 20mm tool, so we'll say 10mm. Okay, so that machines those flat areas there, which is pretty much what we want. Okay, good. Now we know that we can use the link command to cut down on the number of air movements, and we can set up our retract heights and our feed change planes and so on. That's all under the link menu. So if we just switch that off for now. Okay, so now we need to drill those holes. To drill the holes we need to create a series of points, and the points will be located at the center of the circles. So if we move the mouse over the surface here, right click and say pick faces, so we pick that top face and say make a sketch from the face. So that's made a sketch from that face. Now one thing that we do want to do is, because we're going to be searching for things other than faces, we right click again and say pick anything, and then to check that, under our selection filter here, we can see that it's going to be searching for all of these items. So if we set our view to XY as the simplest way, and then under geometry we can create a series of points, and the snapping mode we want on is just the center. So what that does is that it will just find the center of all these circular sketches. So this is just creating the points. Okay, so we've got those points there which we can use to drill the holes. To drill the holes we need to set up a couple of tools. So we'll set up that we want a center drill bit, and we can set the size of the tool and the flute length, total length, and so on. So that's set up a center drill. Now we can set up a standard drill, and we'll have that as the diameter that we want, standard 180 degree tip. Okay, so now we can drill those holes. So we say drill. The type of cycle we want is a straightforward drill cycle to start with, and we need to pick the points. So we can either pick them from the model here, or we can just highlight the first one, hold down the shift key and select all of those, press enter, choose the tool we want to use, which will be a center drill, and we maybe just want to go down a couple of millimeters there. Okay, so that's just a straightforward drill cycle. So we probably need to set that to a, okay, so that's machining that. Now we can set up the work surface so that it doesn't retract out all the way through there, and we can also set up the work surface and the feed change plane as well, so that it's below Z0, so it cuts down the amount of fresh air cutting. So we've got a drilling operation there. So the simplest way to produce the next operation, so this is center drilling. If we just copy and then say paste, we've now got two drilling operations there. So if we edit the second one and choose different drill bit and the step down, sorry, the depth we want to go, and we'll have a pec drill command and the step down of 2. Okay, so that's produced that program for us. It's done the flatland finishing, which is this one here, and then the drilling operation as we've seen. Okay, so that's how you do that.